Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Biggest Little Farm, The Return. And right off the bat, I was a humongous fan of The Biggest Little Farm when I got to see it in theaters a couple years ago. It was one of my favorite documentaries of the year. It was an emotional story, it was beautifully shot, it really captured my attention and really brought this experience of this couple and their farm, the ups and downs, so many emotions. I was pretty excited when I saw this was coming out for the Earth Day celebration on Disney Plus through National Geographic. So I'm like, okay, and then I saw the runtime of 29 minutes, and I'm like, interesting choice. So started watching it, and the first 10 minutes of it is just recapping the actual full feature film, and you're just like, why am I watching this? I've already watched the film. I really love the film. I don't need this giant recap of it. And so that kind of takes you out of it at the start. And realistically, this short film feels more like an appendix to the first film instead of like a full-blown sequel film or a continuation of the story. It kind of hits on a couple of specific threads. One, their big old hog who they try to give birth to another litter, and you also have this sheep who gives birth to this baby lamb, and basically piglets and this lamb, baby lamb, those are the two stories that get introduced here. And there's not a whole lot of time. At that point, there's 15 minutes or so left in the film to really focus on those things. I love the voiceover in the first film. I felt like the script and what they were saying in this one felt very rushed and felt very artificial and clunky and a little manipulative. There's parts where it's just obnoxiously being but then we had to decide to do this. Just kidding, it's not that bad. And it's just they don't say it's not that bad. That popped up in my head because I'm just wow, they really played that up for it to completely swerve you and not in a satisfying way. But those two stories about the pig and her piglets and this little abandoned lamb are emotional and endearing, and you feel it. You feel for them. You get connected and attached right away, and takes you on an emotional journey. Very brief, but still, I think the visuals, it's still very beautifully shot. It captures the life of this farm in a big, bold, and beautiful way. It's an enjoyable experience. But did they really need to do this? And that's where it feels like this film doesn't have a whole lot of weight behind itself. It felt like maybe deleted scenes from the first film and a recap of the first film. And so in the end, I enjoyed this. I was a bit disappointed, especially because I love the first film so much. So if you haven't watched The Biggest Little Farm, go show that one some love because it is a great documentary. This feels like a very solid addition to that film, not a continuation of it necessarily. But those are my thoughts on The Biggest Little Farm, The Return. Let me know what you think. Let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.